So for today's adventure, we're hiking to Sauer's Mountain. The trailhead is off of Highway 2, located near Peshastin, between Leavenworth and Wenatchee. The trail was built by a private citizen, Sauer, who unfortunately died New Year's Day in 2021. He's a private landowner and built a trail himself during his retirement years into Sauer's Mountain. So the trail starts off on private property and then ends on National Forest Service property. Even though he's passed on, his family still allows access to the trailhead. The trailhead is fairly small, so it only fits probably 5 to 6 cars. So if you're coming to do this hike, you have to be aware of that. Anyways, today's adventure, a little over 5 miles round trip, Sauer's Mountain. That's looking out towards Highway 2. See some pretty fabulous views right out of the gate. I'm probably less than 3/10 of a mile in. There's been some great sandstones to look at and nice views looking out over the lower valley. And you reach the National Forest Service boundary right at about the 4/10 mile mark. So my watch has this right at the 1 mile mark, which is matching the signpost here. So a mile in, heading to Sauer's Mountain. So far the trail's been steady uphill climb the entire way. Good views, not astounding, but good. Very fun trail. This is Sauer's Mountain Trail was a trail for which it was really easy to find online information, especially about the life of Sauer, the person who built the trail. So I would suggest if you decide to come try this one that you do a little bit of pre-reading. Makes the trail a little more fun and interesting when you know some of the history behind it. So that would be my suggestion. So again, this has been fun so far. Definitely uphill without too much respite. So a good little uphill workout. And here you go right at about the 1.3 mile mark. Give you an idea of some of the views you can see on the way up. So definitely worth it. About 1.7 miles in at this point. And we're just running a little ridge run up towards Sauer's Mountain. Still pretty steady uphill, but not as bad as it was right at the start. It's 2.6 miles. Getting a little windy, but close to the top. You hit a little road crossing here. Always disappointing to hit a road crossing on the way someplace. But you just cross the road and step your way up the hill. A little slick, but not too bad. It's about 2.7 miles in. We're up at Sauer's Mountain. They have your classic sign-in tube. Good views from the top. This had been on my list for a while. There's a lot of online stories about Leonard sitting trailside to greet people who came up to hike his trail. And it had always been on my list to do that someday. Unfortunately, time and procrastination kept me from ever meeting him. But anyways, Leonard, I finally made it to your trail. Thanks for it. Thanks for leaving us a little legacy. Cheers to you. So about 4.6 miles in, we're on our way back out. On the way up, we turned right and went up to Sauer's Mountain, and it indicates to the left there's a loop trail. And I was looking at the map, and it looks like the loop trail should take us back to the main parking lot. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a try and see if it's a lie or not. So that loop trail pretty immediately climbs you up onto a ridge with some great views. So as long as it gets me back to the parking lot, it should be a worthwhile little side trip. It's about 5.4 miles. The loop trail is just now reconnecting with the main trail, so it's definitely easy to follow and well signed. Definitely a steep descent to reconnect onto the main trail, so I think I would do it on the way out instead of on the way up. It was definitely worth it. Essentially what the loop did was put you up on a ridge walk to come out, and so the views were probably better than what they were on the way in, but definitely a trail, the loop trail, I would want to do it coming out rather than on my way in. It's just steeper route, pretty switchbacky right before it reconnects with the main trail. Of course, the hike out always looks different than the hike in. You definitely get a different perspective of the trail. So as you can see, we've arrived back at the parking lot, which, as I mentioned at the beginning, is very small. So if you come up, you want to make sure you have a plan B. There's lots of good hiking in the Leavenworth, Wenatchee area. So if it's too crowded, you don't want to get towed, so have that plan B in your pocket. But anyways, back at the parking lot, Sauer's Mountain is in the bag. Get outside.